I want to bring in meteorologist Natalie Ferrari now as tropics are getting busier out there. But we just have our second named hurricane.
Yes, second named hurricane. Hurricane Grace, in case you missed it, earlier today did reach that Category 1 status, and it is forecast to actually slam into the Yucatan Peninsula later this week as a pretty decent hurricane. So we'll talk about that.
Not near us, though. That's good for us,
We
right?
are singing our praises here locally. So the tropics are busy, but we are kind of just taking a little bit of a break here in the Sunshine State when it comes to the tropics. Thankfully, getting post-tropical Fred out of our hair as well. But yeah, two systems that are going to be impacting portions of not only Mexico, but even maybe the United States going into the week ahead. I'll show you what that means in just a few moments. I want to first at least wrap up in a bow post-tropical Fred. This continues to be a non-tropical low heading towards the northeast, just in the portions of Pennsylvania back into even New York. They're going to be dealing with those heavy rain bands moving across the area. Today has been a heavy rain concern and a tornado threat for much of the northeast. Then there's this system here, a Category 1 hurricane. There is Grace continuing to pump to the west-northwest at 16 miles per hour. Max sustained winds have been picking up right around 80 miles per hour with plenty of those tropical storm warnings and hurricane warnings lighting up the Yucatan Peninsula. And here is why. It will maintain that hurricane status going through tonight and into tomorrow, making landfall going through Wednesday, later on Wednesday into Thursday especially. There is that potential downgrade to a tropical system as it interacts with the Yucatan, but right as it crosses back into the Bay of Campeche, that's where we'll see that gradual strengthening. And then again, Mexico, parts of Mexico getting slammed with Hurricane Grace again. And that is why parts of Mexico are going to be dealing with both tropical storm conditions and hurricane conditions, depending on how much land interaction we're dealing with. Then there's Tropical Storm Henri continuing to swoop right around Bermuda. But here are some of the latest updates as it starts to kind of meander through portions of the western Atlantic towards the northeast. That cone of uncertainty really starts to widen by the weekend going into early next week. And that's because some of the latest models are showing a little bit of indication that this system may want to try to spread back up towards the New England area through parts of the northeast, meaning some of those tropical storm force winds, maybe hurricane force winds, will start to brush up along the coast. Now, there is some cooler water out there, so some gradual weakening will be expected, but it's something that, again, the northeast is going to have to watch out for once again. Here locally, we got those typical showers and thunderstorms, one of which have been leaving Plant City, moving to the west there, heading towards the Florida State grounds as we speak. Then through northern Manatee County, another boundary colliding just south of Ruskin through portions of Bradenton, east of Palmetto, even down through portions of Lakewood Ranch, getting in some of the heavy rainfall and frequent cloud to ground lightning. That all happened after we did this. We bumped up those temperatures and climbed to a record high of 97 today. That broke our last record of 95 back in 1916, setting a whole new record. Wyndham Clearwater Beach weather camera, 90, even at the beach, feels more like 100 degrees. So a lot of those lower to mid 90s feeling like the triple digits out there, and that really will continue to be the case as we get closer and closer to sunset. Guys, we're going to try to cool down, but for the most part, it's going to be a warm and steamy night ahead with those lower 80s hanging out with us, even a few upper 70s in our inland locations possible. So here's your future radar. All those showers that are bubbling up around I-75 and pushing offshore, they'll continue to do so through sunset. We'll stay quiet overnight through tomorrow morning. We're right back in that summertime pattern. Well, by the afternoon, anything that kind of bubbles up will start to move offshore just in time for your evening commute. I think we'll do that on Thursday and on Friday, but check this out. There is some drier air pulsing in the days ahead. That means we won't entirely see rain chances drop off, but we will see them be more isolated. They'll be a little more few and far between, and that will help to keep the heat on the high side, especially when we have those slightly lower rain chances. So just keep that in mind. You're definitely going to want to stay hydrated and take as many frequent breaks indoors in the AC when you can when we're talking about this kind of high heat. Don't forget, you can always catch our forecast on the radio. Our radio partners are the Dove 105.5, the Eagle 107.3, WSRQ 106.9 in Sarasota, and Magic 94.9.